Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're putting on our medical detective hats to dive into the latest body art news. We're going to cut right through all that viral internet noise you've been seeing and investigate the real, completely unglamorous mechanics of tattoo safety. If you've spent any time scrolling lately, you've definitely seen the dramatic photos and the absolute panic surrounding tattoo ink. But today, we're focusing strictly on the hard science and those tight protocols that separate a genuinely safe body art experience from, well, a complete medical mystery. So, the next time a viral tattoo disaster pops up on your feed, you really got to ask yourself what you're actually looking at. Because that online story, it's almost always flattened out into a single, totally inaccurate villain. I mean, we all love a simple explanation, right? But the human body and the science of tattooing itself are literally never that simple. When a tattoo heals poorly or reacts weirdly, the internet just immediately points its finger in one direction, totally ignoring the incredibly complex and honestly sometimes wild biological processes that are actually at play. Okay, let's dive right into this. The artist used dirty ink. We see this phrase literally everywhere. It's kind of the internet's favorite lazy shortcut for explaining any tattoo failure, and honestly, it's just scientifically flawed. Blaming everything on dirty ink or a dirty needle completely misses the bigger picture of how contamination and our own immune responses actually function. So yeah, that's a myth we're going to bust right now. Here is our investigation dossier for today. 1. The viral tattoo panic. 2. Infection versus allergic reaction. 3. The real contamination culprits. And 4. Treating ink like medicine. Let's just get right into it. Section 1. The viral tattoo panic. Beyond the viral horror stories. Let's start right at the scene of the crime and look at why those terrifying close-ups we see on social media are basically the least useful pieces of evidence you could ask for. There's a massive contrast between the viral diagnoses everybody jumps to online and the actual chain of failures that causes a tattoo to heal poorly. The internet loves to just blame bad ink or a dirty needle. But the real story? A bad outcome is almost always a chain reaction. Sure, it could start with contaminated ink, absolutely, but it could also be the non-sterile water used to dilute that ink, poor hygiene in the shop, or honestly just the client's own natural immune response going into overdrive. It's a whole ecosystem of variables. And the FDA explicitly warns us that the real picture here is incredibly complex. According to their safety guidance, infections definitely are linked to contaminated tattoo inks. But the real shocker? Contamination can actually happen even in completely sealed, unopened ink bottles straight from the factory. No way, right? And maybe even more surprisingly, these reactions don't always happen right away. They can literally appear months or even years later. Which is exactly why a quick 10-second video clip of an angry red tattoo tells us pretty much nothing about what actually went wrong. Moving on to Section 2, Infection versus Allergic Reaction. Misdiagnosing the drama. The absolutely crucial point here is that we have to differentiate between a true infection and an allergic immune response. When you look at the FDA data, the line between these two issues becomes crystal clear. An infection, which is caused by bacteria or mold in the ink, water, or equipment, usually shows up pretty early with heat, spreading redness, pain, drainage, and even a fever. But an allergic reaction? That's an immune response to the pigment itself or its additives. That looks more like persistent redness, little bumps, a rash, or swelling. And get this, it can be delayed by months or even years. Understanding that distinction completely changes how you judge a so-called tattoo disaster. So we've got to move past the visual drama. A bad-looking outcome is not automatically proof of a bad artist. Sometimes bodies just react to things. And flip that around. A beautifully healed tattoo isn't proof of safe sourcing either. You could theoretically have a great outcome from totally untraceable, poorly handled materials. Simply put, good visuals do not equal process safety. Section 3. The real contamination culprits. Uncovering the hidden dangers. This is where we find some of the most surprising realities from the FDA guidance about where the actual dangers hide. And here is the ultimate twist. The FDA specifically calls out non-sterile dilution water as a massive, entirely preventable contamination route. If an artist dilutes your ink and says, "Oh, don't worry, we use bottled water," you should probably run. Bottled water is perfectly safe to drink, sure, but it is absolutely not sterile enough to inject into your dermal layer. And the hidden realities of tattoo ink get even wilder. For starters, those DIY at-home tattoo kits are a massive risk, directly linked to infections and allergies. But here's the craziest part.
The FDA notes that some unregulated inks actually contain pigments manufactured for printer toner or literal car paint. Yes, car paint. And honestly, without proper lab testing, there is just no surefire way to tell if an ink is actually safe.
This means responsible studios completely avoid relying on magical, unsubstantiated language. Have you ever heard someone brag that they use medical-grade ink? Well, the truth is, that phrase is basically just marketing fluff, unless it's backed up by actual manufacturing data and strict quality control documentation. Safe tattooing isn't about throwing around magical buzzwords. It's about hard-nosed, verifiable science. Section 4, Treating Ink Like Medicine, the studio-level supply chain protocol. Let's pivot from the problems to the unglamorous but absolutely vital solutions required for real safety. If a client ever reports a reaction, guessing is completely off the table. A safe studio handles it like tracking a medical outbreak. They immediately record the ink brand, the color, the exact lot or batch number, and note the precise timeline of the reaction. Without following those concrete steps, it's not an investigation at all. It's just a guessing game. I absolutely love this insider mindset from Patrick's note in the source material. It says, treat tattoo ink like a biologically active material, not a decorative liquid. Think about that for a second. It means understanding that the bottle, the dilution water, the gloves, and the meticulous documentation, that is where the true safety story lives. We spend so much time obsessing over the needle, but the needle is really just the delivery mechanism. It's the entire controlled environment that actually keeps you safe. The smartest operators in body art news obsess over these exact fundamentals to keep the industry credible and avoid all that viral theater. And you know, the fix for fewer tattoo disasters is honestly pretty unglamorous. It means having absolute zero tolerance for non-sterile dilution water. It's maintaining strict lot-level traceability for every single drop of ink. It's providing disciplined, brutally honest aftercare instructions. And it's having the professional integrity to refuse to pretend that every single rash is an infection just to appease the internet commenters. Ultimately, the big takeaway here isn't that tattoos are inherently dangerous. Not at all. The real takeaway is that bad process creates bad outcomes. Period. A tightly controlled environment and strict source verification are just non-negotiable for safe healing. The absolute best studios out there don't just win by having the best artists, they win by meticulously controlling contamination, tracing their materials exactly like scientists, and telling their clients the truth. So armed with all this forensic knowledge, you really have to wonder about your own body art experiences. The next time you sit down in that chair, getting ready to permanently alter your skin, ask yourself, is your chosen studio actually tracing their ink? Are they treating your skin with this serious, medical-level respect that it absolutely deserves? Because at the end of the day, it's your body, and understanding the real science behind the safety is the best way to protect it. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep asking those smart questions.